This is Commander Atlas Rand, and today we're going to be doing the second, or is this the third now? No, I think it's the second August Community Goal. This Community Goal, otherwise known as a CG, is something... Here, let me turn off eye tracking. This Community Goal is something that I was surprised by because it's happening in the middle of another Community Goal. But such things are, I guess, these days in Elite. And it's happening at the same place. What they've done is they've added a different reward for participating in pirate bounty hunting, but at the same station as the current August 2025 Community Goal. So if we go here, you can see that I'm participating in a Brewer Corporation Trailblazer Supply. I'm in the top 75% with a total of 9,216 units collected. Now, when I did this, I was in the top 25%, so it's since slipped down to the top 75, which is as expected. I wanted to make sure I did at least enough to be in the top 75%. That's the location, the bare minimum that you need to get both pieces of the prize, and I am still there, which is great. I might do a little bit more hauling just to get that over 10,000. I think my other account is at 12,000, but I want to make sure I don't slip from the top 75 to the top 100%. But right now we very much are. But if you go to Starlay Station, which is where this event is happening, and we go in here, and we go to mission boards, community goals, we see that there's now 2 community goals listed here. That's the one we're participating in. You can see that 9,200 units collected. Yep. This is one we have 0 participation in, so we need to sign up. And now we're participating in both. But what is this one, right? Incidentally, 230 billion credits earned so far in bounties. That's insane. So if we go to information, we can see that blah, 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 blah. Get to the important bits on the bottom here. You will get a blue metallic brewer decal. Who cares? You get 1 size 2 railgun, pre-engineered with long range, high capacity, plus feedback cascade, which I believe prevents the other guys from using shield cell banks. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments there. You get some credits, whatever. And then the pilots in the top 75% will get a second one. Well, 1 railgun is not very good. 2 is okay, but 4 would be better. But whatever, you get 2 of them as long as you're in the top 75%. So it's going to be important to, once again, be in the top 75% of this. If at least tier level 3 is reached, then you can see on the right here that tier 3 is almost already reached, and it's only a few days into this community goal. Then a 3rd railgun. So basically, if tier 3 is reached, then everybody gets 2 guns. So this one, I guess, would be a little less important to be in the top 75% because really 2 guns is generally what you're going to want here, either 2 or 4. You rarely do you have a ship that has 3 size 2 slots to put 3 guns in. Most of them have 2 or 4 of those. But either way, if you're in the top 75% and tier 3 is reached, which it's almost guaranteed to be, then you will get an additional railgun for a total of 3. So there you go. And this runs for 2 weeks. So yeah, obviously tier 3. So we are right now, let's see, what is it? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We are 4 days into it and we're almost at tier 3 and it's going to run for 2 weeks. So not everybody will be in the top 75%. Only the top 75% will be in the top 75%. So what do we do here? Well, there's a couple of ways to do this one. First thing, always sign up. Do they end at the same time? They do. They both end exactly the same time. So both of these will end in 1 week and 3 days. So if we go to out of here and we open up our side panel here, we're going to need to enable... Oh, we do have points of interest enabled. Okay. I wasn't sure if we did. Weird. Why is it not showing anything? Maybe just because we're in a station. So First thing we're going to need to do is go back to the carrier, or if you don't have a carrier, you're going to need to swap into a military ship. This ship is not a military ship. Yes, many of you know that Commander Meccan killed a Hydra using this ship, as well as a few other people have that I watched in videos. In fact, Meccan wasn't the first to kill a Hydra, but he certainly was the one that most people watched killing a Hydra. But, and he had a huge haul of materials to make him more risky, to make it more risky if he did get killed. I also took this ship and reconfigured it with guns and shields and armor on a stream just yesterday to see if I could use this same ship, but totally different fit of it, do missions. And what you find is this is a very poor military ship for three reasons, but really two main ones. Number one, this ship has 2 specialty slots in it that only fit either cargo or fuel. Let me just jump down here to get my... I believe that's where my carrier is. So we're going to jump there. So this ship essentially has 2 fewer slots that are useful for a military build than ships that don't have dedicated slots. It means you have less shields and or armor depending on how you fit it, which is not good. Even though it does have 10 gun slots, those 10 gun slots also have really full conversion, which means that you have to use gimbaled mounts. So it makes it a lower DPS version of a ship as well. And then the last part of it is if you're going to use a shield, which I think most people would for military. Let me just find my carrier here real quick. And then we'll continue on here. Oh, I'm sure there's a ton of carriers here now. I flew in here. I was one of the first ones in this system. There I am. Now there's a whole ton of them in here. Anyway, if you're going to do a shield build, you generally rely on your utility slots to get the most shield, because you're going to be putting in damn, I am blanking out. These are shield boosters. Hello. So generally, you're going to want to have as many shield boosters in there as you can in order to maximize your shield. Well, the Panther only has 6 utility slots, which means you're 2 less than other large ships. I think I Nope. I was afraid I overflew it. I did not overflow it. Good. So your shield strength isn't going to be as good. Or conversely, if you put 6 shield boosters in there, you're going to be giving up other things that would normally go in there, like point defense. So it's really not suited for military applications for these 3 reasons. The 4th reason, I guess, which is kind of obvious, but it's true of most large ships, is large ships are just kind of slow to turn, so it's going to be harder to always be tracking and aiming at your enemy in a big ship. But that's equally true in the other large ships as well, with probably the Corvette being the most maneuverable of the large ships, and no one would ever call a Corvette particularly maneuverable. So you're going to have to get into a different ship. Now, what ships are going to be good? Well, I think most of the military type medium ships, which would be your Python Mark 1, Python Mark 2, your Crate, All of those are going to be good. Your Mandalay is, you know, some people really like doing military stuff in the Mandalay, so I don't want to say it's not a good ship for that. But just keep in mind, the Mandalay relies on flying around and zooming around constantly at high speed. Not so much on good shields or armor. The Corsair, certainly another good ship. It's very similar to the Crate, except with more slots inside, so you can set it up for either more shields or have additional things in there, like a repair drone to rep yourself. That's very doable as well. So there are ships that in the medium size that work very well, and of course, if you have the Corvette, the Federal Corvette does a very good job of killing NPCs, and especially if you're going up against larger NPCs like Python NPC pirates, or sorry, not Python, like Anaconda NPC pirates. And in that situation, the thing that the Corvette lets you do that the other medium ships won't is essentially have a build that never runs out of anything. Because you can do a pure laser build, as I did on my live stream yesterday, using a Corvette, which just never has to go back for rearming. And it has room for a repair drone, so you can repair yourself, and it has an AFMU, so you can repair yourself there. So the only thing you can potentially have to go in and repair is your power plant, if your power plant gets damaged. And incidentally, that's one thing that happened to me yesterday in the live stream, is my power plant on the Corsair got taken out twice. So when your power plant gets taken out, everything else shuts down and your ship basically gets killed in a hurry. So I had to rebuy my Corsair twice, even though it's a great ship in a lot of ways. I just, for whatever reason, realized, I realized for this reason, because it got killed twice, but for some reason, and I don't recall this happening in the past, the power plant is just very susceptible to get shot out and taken out on that ship. So it's either that or I just got extremely unlucky, and that could be the case as well. But the first thing we're going to do is switch to a military ship. And for those of you that love to leave comments that say, real video starts at this timestamp, here's your timestamp. This is where the quote-unquote real video starts, where you're actually going to get into a military ship and then go do some battle. So we have a Crate 2, we have a Corsair. I do have a military Mandalay as well, but I'm going to try and avoid that. I think both of the Pythons, okay, this one's an AX Python. This one I think is a mining Python. That's not going to work. This is a Corsair miner. And another mining ship right there. So what we're going to do is get into... And by the way, the Cobra Mark V is a really fun small military ship. I don't think I would do it for this, because you're trying to get as many merits as possible, or as much money as possible, which means killing bigger ships, which means you're going to want to be in a bigger ship yourself. But a medium ship should work. Let's take a look and see what kind of setup we have in the Corsair here. Hopefully it's not a mining one. We've got, oh, this is the as it comes setup. So we got multi-cannons, pulse lasers, and another multi-cannon down there. Have I changed anything on this? Oh, no. This looks like this is literally the way the Corsair comes if you prepay and buy it. Interesting. Okay. Have I done anything to the... I have put in a military grade composite, I guess. Heavy duty armor. So that's the only thing I've done to it. I haven't messed with the SCO drive. Surprising. Yeah. Everything else is pretty much stock. So we have a bi-weave large shield. We have some cargo racks. I don't know why I have cargo racks in here. Don't need that. We have a fuel scoop. Okay, so it's not quite set up correctly. So I do have a repair limpet, so that's good. Detailed surface scanner. So this is a weird setup for a military ship, I'll tell you that. Collector limpet. Okay, so we're gonna swap that for where is it? Flight assist, super cruise. Yep. All right. And these are standard for it. That's fine. Oh, I know why I kept these, because these were built in. That's why I kept them. So what we're going to want to do, I wonder if I have any. Do we have any shield? Nope, I haven't unlocked them yet. Okay. What do we have for utilities? Let's see what utilities look like on here. So, kill-worn scanner, heat sink launcher, shield booster, and point turret. You could use the kill-worn scanner because that does increase your bounties, which is good. Point defense, not very necessary. I tried it without the point defense. They don't... There's some NPCs that shoot missiles at you, but there are not many of them. Heat sink launcher is always useful because you will get hot at some point. You know what? Let's take it as is, right? So this is basically the only thing I changed is I put in a super cruise. Assist is what I put in there. Yeah. And incidentally, let me make a quick comment. So this is the piece that people that skip over all this junk are going to miss. So for any of the pre-purchase ships, you can see the little shopping bag icon, which means it was bought for real money or for ARCs. I guess you could technically save up enough ARCs to buy a ship without spending any real money. In your core internals, and only for your core internals, you can swap these out. And then if you wanted to get back what was originally in there, like for example, you can see that I've upgraded, well, this is not a good example actually, because I've upgraded the armor on this thing. So it came with military grade armor, and then I obviously pushed it all the way up to level 5. But let's say you want to put in a smaller power plant, right? Let's see if I have one. I do. So you could put in a size 4 power plant in here, and you will lose that little shopping bag icon, which means this is not what originally came with the ship. Now, if you sell the ship completely, it'll disappear, and then when you respawn it back, when you buy it back for $0, it'll have all shopping bag stuff in here for you, right? However, and this is only for the core internals, you can see we have a size 4 power plant in here. If we take that power plant and we just store it, you can see that the original shopping bag equivalent of a power plant, which was a 7A, has been re-put in here. So if you store whatever is in here, then it will replace it with what originally came with the ship. So you can upgrade this, and generally you're not going to put in a smaller power plant, but you know, let's say you want to put a 4A life support. You can do that, and then you can yank it back out, and it'll replace it back with a 4D power life support for you. That does not work in any of these other slots. So if I take out, like I did take out the Super Cruise Assist, right? I put that in there. I took out what was a shopping bag, which was a probe launcher. So if I take this and I store it, it does not give me the probe launcher with the shopping bag again. So this only works for the core internals. However, what does that mean is that you can replace things in the core internals with much better upgraded versions, and then you can remove them. Remove obviously everything from here that you've added. So I added that. I would remove these two because they don't have shopping bags. Only leave things that have shopping bags that you don't need to remove. And then sell the ship and then rebuy the ship, so that sell and rebuy will get you all the shopping bags back again, obviously. and do it without losing any of the things that you've changed in the ship. You just have to remember to remove them first, or to store them first before you sell the ship. And you know, you could sell the ship right to the carrier, right? So you have to be in a different ship than the one you're selling. But like, for example, here's my Panther. If I click on that, oh, that's not deployed, but let's find one that's deployed. This Python, that's deployed. So if I click on that, I can sell. So when you sell it, you will get 0 credits, as you can see back. So you won't get any money for it, but you'll be able to rebuy it also for 0 credits again. Now, I'm not going to do that because I think I do have stuff that's modified in this Python from the regular build. But anyway, let's get back to it. So we're going to take our Corsair, which is the current ship we're in, with all stock things. So let's see how well it does. So we've got pulse laser and a bunch of multi-cannons and a few more pulse lasers. Not the ideal build by any means, but I want to do it in this thing mainly to not have to reconfigure and put new things on, but also to see just how well what people are referring to as a pay-to-play ship does. So we're going to jump next door back to Minerva, where the community goal is.
Ship released. You have liftoff.
Landing gear retracted.
I love that sound. They do such a good job with their sound effects for the boost on all their ships. I mean, it's hard to find a ship that doesn't have good sound effects for boost.
Frameshift drive charging.
I'm still not a fan of this cockpit. I don't think the forward ring needs to be there, interrupting your field of view. It would be really good for them to just get rid of it and just have the back ring, which is more realistic anyway. If you look at the ships that this ship is modeled after, which would be fighter pilots, or fighter pilots, which would be fighters in the 20th and 21st century, none of them have this obstruction up front. The pilot would sit in a place where the only ring they would see would be kind of like the back ring that we see here. It makes no sense for them to have that forward ring at all. So, other than to obstruct your view. So, now that we've jumped through, let's turn off fleet carriers to make this more readable. So, here are your options, guys. You're looking for not conflict zones. It's not what you get credits for. You're looking for either resource sites, has, high, low, ignore the conflict zones, or you're looking for a signals that is of a pirate activity. So let's go ahead and do a quick scan here. Do a ping. Scan. Let's start moving away from the sun a little bit too while we're at it. All right, and let's see what we have for signals here. We could also scan the distress call. Rated.
Fuel scooping complete.
We could totally scan the probe, but I'm just doing this for mostly because I'm lazy. I don't want to fly there. Although, if there's enough of these, it's actually more lazy to fly and scan the beacon than it is to do that. And it should be called, like yesterday when I was doing this in the live stream, we had, ooh, high grade emissions, nice. We had a level 5, there's another high grade, pirate incursion or something like a pirate aftermath, pirate something. And then after that one disappeared, we got a level 7, which was great, because I got about 20 million worth of bounties off of that. Another high grade. Wow, this system's got a ton of high grades. Maybe there aren't any pirate ones right now. I guess that could be the case too. All right. So while we're waiting, let's go to a high intensity. Since we're in a totally unengineered ship, I don't feel like going to a Hazres, but let's go to high. While we're flying there, let me just take a look at, make sure the fire groups are correct. So pulse lasers on there, multi-cannons on there, repair and collector limpets, and I forgot to buy limpets. Okay. And then we have, this is fine. Yeah, this is all good. I think I've used this before. We don't have limpets, right? Yeah, we got limpets. So I was gonna say otherwise go do some Hazres things, but I can do that off the video. I don't need to be taking your time out flying to Hazres to fill up on materials. Resource extraction site, so obviously we're going to be in the asteroids. And I will caution you that it's important to make sure you scan the show. I'm coming in too fast. Make sure that you scan the ships before you start shooting them, even if they look like pirates, because yesterday when I was doing this on the stream, I was doing this with Narco, and we both ended up shooting ships that were not pirates, and as a result getting bounties. You don't want to do that. Just do the scan first, make sure they actually have that they're wanted, that they do have a bounty on them, and they are a pirate. And then, oh, of course it's going to be in the dark. Well, naturally it's going to be in the dark. Turn on night vision. Why would it possibly be in the light like almost everything else when it could be in the dark? I like that there's night and dark. I don't like being in the dark. Given the choice, I'll always go to the light side. I can't even see the asteroids here. Oh, there we go. Now I can kind of see them a little bit. I guess the only good thing about it being dark is we'll see the lasers from further away. They'll really kind of come through. Alright, so I gotta remember that my shields and my reset pips, put them all to system and weapon. Actually, probably all to system. Let's see. We'll try this and then we'll move them to weapon as needed. Switch to combat mode. Switch to... So this guy has his weapons out. What are you?
Scan detected.
Nope, you look like you're going mining. Yeah, he's clean. You know what I mean? Don't just assume that just because they have their weapons out that... Now you, on the other hand, or you, look like you might be a pirate. Yes, wanted. But in a group of 3, which means there's going to be 3 guys attacking me all at the same time. If I was in a ship that was fully engineered, I would say great. Since I'm not in a ship that's fully engineered, I'm going to pass on that. That's part of the team of 3, so no go on that. How about you? You're elite, you're wanted, and you're lone. Okay, let's trigger you. Let's just start shooting them.
Target shields offline.
And start shooting them with the guns. Okay, we definitely need more faster now. Great. And he's dead. Okay. We got 154,000 bounty on him. Which, the bounties are going to be dependent on the level of the ship combined with the size of the ship. So an elite small ship will pay more, that guy's clean, than a, I don't know, what are the lower levels? I don't even know what the lower levels are. Let's see if we can find somebody that's a lower level. Master. Okay, yeah, an elite's definitely going to pay more than the master of the same size ship. This guy's also wanted. Let's get a little closer. We're 4 kilometers away. Start getting some, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not the right ship. Is that the right ship? Or is... Okay, this is a team of 3. Where's the guy that I had originally targeted? Okay, this guy's wanted. He's in a Asp Scout. 5 kilometers away. Yeah, I need to get closer. So I'm only taking on the solo guys right now because I'm in a stock ship.
Under attack.
And I'm definitely losing my shields as well here.
Target shields offline.
But he's using a lot more than shields. Okay, I'm down to 15% shields. 15%. And he's dead. Okay, so I need to recover my... That was 330,000 bounty. Nice. I need to recover my shields by putting all pips to shields. They should be relatively quick to recover, but not instant, that's for sure. If I had limpets, then I would be flying over here and collecting all these materials. You can see in here. Precipitated alloys, filament, shield emitters, warm shield emitters, galvanizing it. So these are all things your limpets could collect if you don't forget your limpets the way I forgot my limpets. And incidentally, I forgot my limpets on the live stream as well. So this is a total repeat of yesterday. All right, we're at 62%. We can fly back and find some more ships to kill. Now, where are you going to want to get to? Well, I told you I got to a little over 20 million in live stream yesterday. I think that's a safe number. I think probably 10 million is a pretty safe number in terms of the total bounties. So right now, we go into transactions. We've got 485,000. Only bounties to pan-galactic miners count towards this. So if you kill ships that have bounties to other things, what is that? Oh, that's system authority. Oh, okay. The green guys are system authority, so that means this guy shooting him must be a bad guy by definition. Yes, he is. All right, let's help the system authorities and kill him. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is if you're in a very new ship or your skills ain't great, as long as you shoot the person once, even if they're killed by some other ship, you're still going to get the credit for it. So now, we certainly haven't killed them. Others have killed them, but you can see we got 314,000 bounty. That was not the same amount of work as we did on the last ship. So if you stick next to these green guys and only attack things that they attack, that's probably the easiest way to do this, to get bounties, with doing the least amount of work. As long as you cause just a little bit of damage, like there's another guy that one of the green ships has been shooting. So I'm going to hit him just with my lasers, and then that's it. And then let him get killed by other ships. We'll be able to get the bounty on him. How about this guy right here? Okay, that's the system authority ship. All right, there it is. We got the bounty for it. So basically, don't shoot the green guys. They're your buddies, right? You can see that there's quite a few of them in here now. How about this guy? Oh, he's wanted. We're going to shoot him. For sure. Get a little closer to him. I need to put more pips into weapons now as well. I think 3 on this setup that I've got with the ship as it comes. 3 pips into weapons should be decent, and 3 into system. You can have 0 into engines because you're not flying very fast. You're just trying to stay within a reasonable distance. Now we're going to switch to use our multi-cannons. That'll help kill them faster. So that one we actually killed. We could take full credit for, but we got less from him than we did from just taking one shot at one of the other ships that the green guys are shooting at. Okay, let's see. What is this? Nope, that's a miner. It's pretty obvious given the type of ship it is. He's clean. Yep, as expected. But who's not clean out here? How about you? Are you clean? Dangerous. Wanted. Okay, there we go. Shoot this guy. So using lasers to take down the shields. And then we'll use the multi-cannons to do more damage to his actual hull. Now that is a Cobra, so he's not going to give us a whole lot of money for it. And that's why I say it's better to just find ships that the system security is already shooting at and let them do the work. Just do one shot with a laser on that ship. Because really, we're going to end up taking more time to kill this guy than we would just waiting around for system authority to do something. Come on. Ooh, yeah, he got shit back. We're gonna shoot lasers at him for a little while. Oh, and he's still trying to pump his shields. Look at that. We're gonna still take him down. No problem. Still only at 10%. Now, if you want to be able to spin around a little quicker, have a little more control, higher speed in every direction except forward. 287, not bad. Then make sure you turn off assist. So assist on makes it easier to control your ship. Assist off makes your ship just continue in the same direction. So I've got both hands off sticks right now, and you can see the ship is still spinning and moving in the direction that I left it in. So it does make it a little bit more difficult, certainly when you're still figuring things out to control a ship. I've got a video that shows you how to practice flying. Oh, what do we got here? Assist off. And my general advice there is use a large ship. Large ships are easier to fly with assist off. Clean. Dangerous. Wanted. Okay, so we can shoot this guy down. Still working on the shields. Also remember that the turning rates of these ships, including yours, are different depending on the orientation. So if you do a roll, that takes the least amount of time. If you do a Sorry, I'm focusing on trying to control the ship while shooting this guy. If you do a change in your pitch, that's going to take a little longer. So try to anticipate what the other ship is going to be doing, and then you can sort of start your maneuver before that happens. Also, remember you've got a you can flip between
Flight
assist off and on with a quick button control if you've got it set up on your joystick. So you can basically use the assist on to brake your ship to stop it, because if you're not applying any control to the ship, it's just going to stop. Okay, that guy's mining. It's pretty obvious. This guy's mining. Where we got... What else do we have that we can shoot at here? What do we have up here? Oh, that was dead.
Mission objective detected.
Mission objective, really? Who's our mission objective? That guy's mining. This guy's mining. I don't see anything here. Oh, there's somebody getting shot. Okay, so they are all shooting at this guy. No, this guy. So he probably is a bad guy. I'm still going to hold off and wait until... Okay, now I know he's a bad guy. Okay, got credit for that. How about this guy? Oh, he died before we could take one shot at him. This is all system authority guys. All right, let's take a look and see. Assist on, and let's take a look and see what we've got for bounty. We got 1.4 million so far. The 95,000 from Minerva does not count towards the community goal. So keep that in mind as you sort of accumulate your bounties. But this isn't too bad. I mean, given that we've only been out here for about 15 minutes, you figure maybe an hour. Well, it depends on the ship you're in. If you're in a large ship that can do good damage, you're probably going to do about 10 million per hour worth of damage, maybe even more, which is going to be enough to put you into the top 75% in less than an hour. If you are in a smaller ship, or like this ship, a stock ship with no engineering at all, then you're obviously going to take longer to get the same amount of merits done. Or I keep calling them merits. The same amount of bounties done that you're going to turn in. And if you're lucky enough that you are in Liang Rui, he owns this system, so you will probably get merits just for killing pirates here as well. That's the one thing, is anytime there's a community goal in a system owned by one of the powers, that power has a slight advantage in that they get to double dip, usually. Not every time, but usually. Can we find them this way, system authority? So here's one that's... Okay, that's a miner, obviously. That's a miner. That's a system authority. This guy might be a bad guy. Let's see where he's located. Yeah, that's another thing you could do, is use the right panel for trying to find ships. Yep, he's wanted. Let's shoot him. That will hopefully get him to fly towards me. And then they're shooting this guy, so I'm going to shoot him before he blows up. And too late. Did not get the credit for it. Alright, so this guy's wanted. Keep shooting him. An adder. So these smaller ships should be easy enough for even unengineered ships to do. There we go. 135,000. Let's use that right panel again so we can skip the system authority. That guy's a miner. That's a miner. That guy might be a bad guy. Get him in. Yes, he is. And he is elite level, so he'll generate a little more funds for us. Got him down to 12%. Alright, we're gonna start shooting with the multi-cannons as well here. Shooting with everything. While they've got chaff going, I typically will only shoot them with lasers because lasers have no cost. You don't run out of laser. And so, okay, he's turned it on, so I'm going to switch back to laser again. And if the laser misses, it's not a big deal because it doesn't consume anything. And it's not always going to miss, even with chaff. Whoa, shit. Even with chaff, sometimes it's not going to miss. They have unlimited chaff, which is totally not fair because we have very limited chaff if we use it. So lasers until, there we go. Now I can switch off laser and go back to, god damn it, who the hell keeps bumping me? Stupid asteroids. Yeah, you should be dead by now. So multi-cannons without chaff and lasers with chaff. And just keep wearing them down. Stupid asteroids keep hitting me, damn it. Yeah, he has not brought down my shields. I have managed to hit asteroids left and right here. Okay, I'm really getting sick of this guy. I'm just gonna get real close to him here. I don't care if he's got shields. He doesn't have shields. I'm just shooting everything at him now. There he goes. He's dead. Alright, he was worth 500,000. So that's about as much as I would expect to go up against in this ship. In something that is at 74% hull now, because I've run into stupid asteroids. So I'm going to, I think, end the video here. Proximity mines. And then just keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing this till I get to at least 10 million. Because I want to make sure that I get in the top 75% by the end of this. And we are right now at 1.8 million. So probably, if this has been about 20 minutes, I'll probably do this for another 2 hours. In this ship, or maybe I'll switch to a large size ship and get it done a lot quicker. But you get the idea. That's all you got to do. And just remember, when you fly back, maybe I should do this. When you fly back, you have to go to Starlight Station. Don't turn your bounties in anywhere else. And make sure that you turn in your bounties to the normal station bounty giver and not to your hard points, and not to your power contact, because I know a lot of people get used to turning in bounties to the, oh, I gotta go around this planet first. Okay. A lot of people get used to turning in bounties to the power contact because you might get some additional benefits from doing that.
Ready to engage.
Additional merits or whatever. Don't do that in this case.
4,
Make sure you just turn it into the regular
1, engage.
admin for the bounties. And we're gonna have to turbo out of here, I think. Yeah. Install a station, and once you turn them in, then you can refresh. I mean, you don't have to refresh. You could just turn them in. They're going to be automatically calculated. But if you wanted to have it refresh, go ahead and reopen the bounty, or the not the bounty, the community goals screen, and then it'll show you the current contribution that you have. It'll also show you which of the percentages you're in. So I'm sure I'm still in the top 100%, not the top 75 at this point. I'm not sure where the breakout is, but just to be safe, I think 10 million is a good safe number. I'm going in way too fast again. So this shouldn't be surprising to anybody who watches my video. There's two things I always do. I always forget limpets, and I always come in too fast when I'm coming in for a landing somewhere. Why didn't I just freaking do... Oh, do I not have... Oh, I guess I don't have it in here right now. I thought I had... damaged? No. Weird. Okay. We'll do it the old manual way. Thought I had Super Cruise assistant here, but I don't see it active. Alright, so get in. All pips to engines.
India, November. Please approach the station at a safe speed and be mindful of other pilots in the area.
And we are on pad 5.
Request approved. Prep for arrival on landing pad 05.
Where's 5? 5 is here right below us. Okay.
Lighting gear deployed.
Alrighty. So let me just do what I described. So we go in here. We're gonna go to contact, administration.
Report to station services for
Go down to bounties. We're gonna sell everything. You can see we have 1.9 for Pan Galactic. Go down here, close that out, go to mission board, community goals. And then go and look here, and it says there's our 1.9 that we got credit for. And we're in the top 100. Yep, that's what I thought. We're not in the top 75 yet, because the top 75 most likely, even right now, even before the end of the period, is already probably over 5 million. So we're gonna need to get up above 5 million to get in top 75, and just to be safe, we'll get to 10 million. All right, guys, we'll catch you in the next one.